Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to the second episode on Glorious Mother series, International Mother's Day Special. So, let us begin today's session by offering our prayers to Srila Prabhupada and to their lordships. Please join me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It is said, mother is the first teacher of the child. What message mother gives to the child, later the child will give the same message to the whole world. It is extremely important what message mothers give to their child. And we are going to discuss next a few days till the International Mother's Day, that is 9th May, the glorious mothers from the Vedic history. By hearing about the glorious qualities of these great mothers, we will all learn how to look at our mothers and identify the great qualities all of our mothers exhibit in day-to-day life, and learn to appreciate and be thankful to Krishna for gifting these mothers in our life. Today, we are going to discuss about this great mother who is the daughter of King Kashi Maharaj, and she is the wife of a very famous king, Maharaj Dasharath. Yes, today's glorious mother is Sumitra Devi, the second wife of Maharaj Dasharath and a mother of a very famous hero of Sri Ramayana, that is Lakshmana. And this glorious mother name is Sumitra Devi. Sumitra, as we already heard, she is the daughter of Maharaj Kashi, king of Kashi, and the wife of Maharaj Dasharath. And it so happened the great qualities of Sumitra Devi are described by Valmiki in Valmiki Ramayana like this. When Maharaj Dasharath performed Putra Kameshti Yajna, his yajna, the sacrifice, was declared successful, and the demigod sent a representative who carried the divine ambrosial payasam, and that celestial being handed over that payasam in the hands of Maharaj Dasharath and asked Dasharath Maharaj to distribute amongst his wives. Maharaj Dasharath distributed that Mahaprasadam, that Yagnashishta, in order to beget glorious sons from his wife. He distributed in this manner. 50% of the prasadam he gave it to his first wife, Kausalya Devi. Kausalya Devi received it with great respect, and she immediately prayed to the Supreme Lord, praying with great humility. She desired that the Supreme Lord, may the Supreme Lord appear in my womb as my son, and she consumed that prasadam. Later, Maharaj Dasharath, he gave 25% of the Yagnashishta to Sumitra Devi. And Sumitra Devi did not consume immediately, she was waiting. And then it is said, Maharaj Dasharath, he again divided the remnants Like he had 100%, 50% was given to Kausalya and she consumed it. 25% was given to Sumitra and she did not consume and she was still waiting. So 75% is over and he was left with 25%. He again divided that and the 12.5% he gave it to Kaikeyi, his last beloved wife. And Kaikeyi received it and she immediately honored it, desiring for a great son who will rule the whole world, and she honored that Mahaprasadam. Now, Sumitra Devi, this glorious mother, she was looking at her elder sister Kausalya, and now she looked at her younger sister Kaikeyi, and now she offered her prayers to the Supreme Lord. With great humility, she prayed, "Oh my dear Lord, please grant me the son who will be the assistant, who will be the great companion of these children of my sisters." And she consumed it. When Maharaj Dasharath saw this glorious quality of Sumitra, she was not praying to the Lord, "Oh Lord, give me a son who will defeat all my other co-sisters' children and he will become the great man." No, she was actually thinking of a cooperation. Actually, Sumitra Devi exhibited a quality of cooperation. And this quality of cooperation is what Supreme Lord Krishna likes very much. We all are supposed to cooperate in the Supreme Lord's abode, Goloka Vrindavana. What attracts Krishna's attention is how much we cooperate. Srila Prabhupada always said it is the cooperation in Krishna consciousness movement that can bring the mercy of the Lord upon us. So Sumitra Devi, she was not in a competition mode, but she was in the cooperation mode. She wanted to cooperate and bring the entire family together, not to break the family together. Her mood and mentality was not to break the family, but to bring the family together. So in this way, she offered prayers and she consumed. And when Maharaj Dasharath saw this great quality in his wife Sumitra Devi, he was left with another portion of Mahaprasadam, that is like 12.5%, because 50% was for Kausalya, 25% for Sumitra, and then another 12.5% for Kaikeyi. He was still left with another 12.5% of Prasadam. He gave that to Sumitra. See, because of cooperation nature, cooperation quality, she attracted the attention of her great husband Dasharath and received the remaining portion of Prasadam, and she honored that also. Because she received Prasadam twice, later she gave birth to the twins Lakshmana and Shatrughna. And because she consumed that prasadam with this cooperation mode, with cooperation mentality, that is the lesson and the message the children also inherited from her, from their mother. And what is that? To always be willing to cooperate. So that's what we see in the life of Lakshmana and Shatrughna. That is the glorious nature of this mother, Sumitra Devi. She is not in competition mode, she is in cooperation mode. See, the moment competition mentality we develop, it breaks people, it breaks relationship. It is the cooperation that brings people together, and that's what this Sumitra Devi was actually teaching to the whole world. And this is the first glorious quality of Sumitra Devi. And that is why I started today's session saying, what message mother gives to the child, later the child will give the same message to the whole world. We can see this happening in the life of Bharat and Shatrughna. In the Ramayana, we see how they were such great assistants of Ram and Bharat, and they kept the whole family together. So that's the glorious nature of Sumitra Devi. And the second quality of Sumitra Devi is that her selfless nature. What is selfless nature? Selfless nature is opposite of selfishness. Selfish means swarthi, always me, my happiness. It's all about me. But Sumitra Devi was teaching to the whole world, especially to her children, to her immediate family, is that selflessness. It is the selfless nature of pure devotees that we are all today in Krishna consciousness. Selfless nature can attract the attention of Lord Krishna, and Sumitra Devi was the epitome of this nature. You tell me, how much selflessness Sumitra Devi taught to Lakshman and Shatrughna. Lakshmana never thought of himself, his pleasure. He was always thinking of what is good for the kingdom, what is good for citizen, and especially what is happiness for Lord Ram. It is said in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana mentions, whenever Lakshmana was feeling hungry, he would go to his mother, "My dear mother, I am feeling hungry." At that time, the way this glorious mother Sumitra Devi used to ask her son is very instructive. She would ask Lakshman, "Oh Lakshman, are you hungry? Come, I'll give you food." No, this is not the way she would talk. She would say, "Oh, you're hungry? Did you ask Ram whether he is also hungry? Did you check with Ram whether he had prasadam?" In this way, she made Lakshman and Shatrughna aware of others' happiness as well. You see, this glorious mother Sumitra Devi, she did not teach, "Oh, just you people take care of your hunger, your happiness, and your problems." No, she taught, while you're hungry, think of others' hunger. While you're in distress, think of others' distress. Never just make your selfish life as a goal of life. This is the great quality Mother Sumitra taught Lakshman and Shatrughna. And in this way, Lakshman always learnt, "Oh, okay, I have to think of Ram's happiness." And later we see, throughout his life, Lakshman was so concerned about Ram's happiness, comforts and all that. So in this way, Mother Sumitra, she taught selflessness to her children, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Now later it was demonstrated in the life of Lakshmana, when Ram was supposed to be abandoned to forest. When he is supposed to go to forest, at that time Lakshmana did not think of his personal comfort. He did not think of his own newly married wife Urmila Devi. He was thinking of Ram. This attitude of others first is what we are all missing in many leaders of today's world. The leaders are supposed to think of others, and Vaishnava is characterized by this. Vaishnava paradukha dukhi. The scriptures declare a devotee always thinks of others' distress in his life. And Lakshmana is teaching this quality, and this glorious quality learnt it from his mother Sumitra Devi. How to think of others. That is why he did not think of his personal life. He did not think of his wife. He was thinking of Ram and Sita and the whole kingdom of Ayodhya. This is selflessness nature. Sumitra taught her son Lakshman and also Shatrughna. And the next amazing quality that Sumitra Devi exhibited was empathy. Empathy means understanding others' feelings, caring for others' emotions, being sensitive to others' sukha and dukkha. Many times when we go through troubles in our life, we expect that somebody will empathize with us, somebody understand our feelings, and they try to be with us when during our difficult times. And Sumitra was actually an example for a topmost empathy. When Ram left Ayodhya to forest, it is Kausalya Devi whose heart was broken to pieces. You can imagine when son goes to the forest, how much your heart must be bleeding. You must be crying in great pain because your son has left you. Your beloved son has gone to the forest. Kausalya was crying. At that time, Sumitra, she comes and she tries to pacify Kausalya in Ramayana. In Ayodhya Kanda, we can read that. It is so heart touching because for Kausalya, her son Ram has gone, but for Sumitra, even for her, the situation is same. Because even Lakshman has gone away to the forest with Ram. Actually, there was no reason for Lakshmana to go to forest. Kaikeyi, the condition was only Ram has to go to the forest. But here, it is actually the Sumitra, when she comes to know the news that Ram has to go to the forest, she immediately asked Lakshman, "Hey Lakshman, your brother Ram is going to the forest alone. All these days you were together. Now, are you not going to be together with your brother, your elder brother Ram? Look at this. Now tell me, who in this world will ask their son to go to the forest?" Many mothers want their son to be very nicely taken care. All the facilities are given to their son and they're very happy. All comforts are in their life. That's what mother wants. But here is the glorious mother Sumitra. She is sending her son to the forest. Who wants? Everybody wants their son to become the king. But here is Mother Sumitra. She is not giving that kind of an idea to her son. Oh, very good, your brother Ram is going away, now you become king. No, she's saying, your brother is going. You must go and share his problems in your life. And she sent Lakshmana to the forest. And after that, she is equally distressed like Kausalya. But look at her courage and empathy. She comes to Kausalya and she says like this in Valmiki Ramayana. It is so beautifully described like this. We can read these verses. Vartate cha uttamam vrittim Lakshmano asmin sada anagha. It is said, Dayavan sarvabhuteshu labhatasya mahatmanaha. Sumitra told Kausalya, my dear Kausalya, do not worry. Lakshmana, Anagha, he is such a nice boy. He is with Ram. And he is with Ram, so he will be taken care. Ram will be safe. You don't have to worry. And Ram will come back very soon. And next she says, so nice word, she says, don't worry, very soon Ram will come back and very soon Ram will touch your feet and he will give you a hug. You don't have to worry. Even though she is equally going through the pain of being away from her son Lakshmana, but she is empathizing, she is counseling, she is calming down Kausalya. And it is said, Valmiki says, Nishamya tal Lakshmana matruvakyanam Ramasya matru deva patnya naradeva patnya. It is said that Sadhya Sharire Vinanasha Shoka Sharadgatha Meghave Sharadrata Meghave Alpatoyaha. By hearing the words of Sumitra Devi, Kausalya felt so relieved. It appeared like the clouds that were covering the sun, they just disappeared. There's so much of distress that covered the heart of Kausalya and made her so painful. She started feeling better. So that was the ability, the glorious quality of Sumitra. Even though she herself was going through the pain of being away from her son Lakshmana, but she was pacifying and empathizing with Kausalya. So the glorious mother Sumitra is an epitome of empathy. And then she also encouraged Lakshmana to go to forest. She also encouraged Kausalya to be, to hold and have patience. And she sacrificed her personal ambitions for dharma. She was always conscious of what is dharma. And according to dharma principle, she wanted her life and she wanted her son Lakshmana and Shatrughna to lead their lives. She never taught adharma to her children. And in this way, she exhibited many glorious qualities And because of this nature, the children Lakshmana and Shatrughna, they also learnt these glorious qualities, and they became so celebrated. Lakshmana, we cannot imagine Ramayana without Lakshmana. It is Ram, Lakshman, Sita. Lakshmana has become so much part of Ramayana because of these great qualities which he learned from his great mother Sumitra Devi. So to summarize, Sumitra Devi, she exhibited the quality of cooperation, and she taught the quality of selflessness. She taught all of us the quality of how to empathize others who are going through pain, even though you are going through pain. Don't make your pain so big. Keep your pain aside. Go and see others' pain and try to pacify them. And that's the important quality. And then she had enough patience to wait 14 years for her son to come back. And she taught how to sacrifice, how not be selfish, but how to think of others and how to sacrifice the personal comforts, personal happiness in her life. These are the qualities that make Sumitra a glorious mother, and our Vedic culture is filled with such glorious mothers, and all these qualities are also present in our mothers at home. I request all of you to sit down and remember and recollect and write down all these qualities to whatever extent are taught by our mother in our life, in our childhood, or even now they must be exhibiting. We must be thankful to Krishna because these are Krishna's qualities, and our mothers are reflecting like mirror. Krishna says, Pitaham Masya Jagato Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Krishna says, I am the Mata. It is he who is the original mother. And the mothers that we have got in our life are the gift given by Lord Krishna. They are reflecting Krishna's love in our life. They're reflecting Krishna's qualities through them so that we can learn, we can imbibe. And so on this International Mother's Day, we can all take this opportunity to learn, get inspired by our mothers, these good qualities, and implement in our life so that we can exhibit the same in our life. And please take this opportunity to thank your mother for being whoever she is. And please be grateful to your mother for giving all those wonderful things in your life. And in this way, we can all greatly be thankful to Lord Krishna. And with this, I would like to end today's session. And today, I would like to show a small video to all of you how we all can appreciate our mother, because our mother, in one way or the other way, they have influenced our spiritual life. Because of our mothers, we have taken up some kind of a spirituality. And please highlight it and please watch this video. You will get an idea how to make this, and you can make this video and send it to us, and we will share it with all, so that more and more people can take inspiration from your relationship with your great mother. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Now the video will be played on your screen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amma. A very happy Mother's Day. Please bless me. Do you remember in my childhood, you used to take me to so many different temples. I used to sing so many bhajans and chant Vedas from a very small age. You know, that taught me so much about the Indian culture and Indian values, and that laid a strong foundation for my devotion towards Lord Krishna. Thank you for being my first guide in my spiritual life, and thank you so much for introducing me to Krishna consciousness. I am very fortunate to have a mother like you, and I thank Lord Krishna for giving me a mother like you. A very, very happy Mother's Day to you once again, Amma. Dear folks, this Mother's Day, let's express our gratitude towards our loving mothers by highlighting how they guided us in our spiritual life. Let us make our mothers feel special. Hare Krishna.